all kinds of stuff on this truck here. It's got a, we were here the other day doing it. Got a wheel seal that's bad. We just did the rear end here a while back, but got a leaky wheel seal down there, and I think he's got an oil cooler that needs to be replaced. Says it's putting water up there in the reservoir, so we'll see if that's what it is. I forgot what else. I think it's the step here. He wants to tighten up. No big deal, but anyway, so we're getting going on this thing. I just got up here a little while ago, so we're gonna mess with this and see if we can get him going. And I gotta work on that exhaust for that W9 today, and hopefully call it a day, kind of early. At least be done by 3. So anyway, we're gonna get started on this. Let me get set up and we're going. See what we got going on there. It's all kinds of gooey. I think I just said gooey. So that's why we're here. Gooey pooey. Well, at least the cylinders aren't seized up. Somebody did something sometime. I told this guy, and I usually tell it to all of them if they're that bad, if they don't replace their brake shoes, I'm not even messing with the job. For no more than what the brakes are. Figure you got by that long without having to get it where it's that wet. It's been that way for a while. So you don't want to replace the brake shoes, you can just have somebody else do it. I won't even put my name on the ticket. So that's kind of the way it is. I mean, if something were to happen, you know, you spend more time in labor cleaning the damn brake shoes up than you would just paying for another set of brakes. So it's just as well to get new brake shoes. Drum's real saturated, same thing. It won't take much to clean it off. I'll just take care of it. But the shoes, this thing catches fire going down the road on this axle. It's got my name on the ticket. I don't think so. That's just the way it is. Me doing a little pre-inspection on this thing will save him a little bit of time, because he'll go over, get it inspected, and they'll fail him, and then he's got to come back and do it again and all that. So it's just as well get it done now. At least this I know they'll fail him for, something else maybe not, but just as well get it. That's probably why it failed. It wasn't very tight to begin with. I mean, it should be a little bit loose, but not hand loose, hand tight. Underneath that thing. I don't know. I'll make the rules. See, whenever, like this style, for example, you just crank her down, 250 or something like that. I don't know, I'll have to look at the book on this one, but, you know, if it's like a jam net style or what, you don't, but that's probably why it failed, because it It wasn't even tight on there. I don't know what was going on, but it doesn't appear that this was lined up properly either, so who knows. But we're gonna put a new wheel seal on it and fix him up so it don't do that again. Let me get this thing jerked off here. He's a stubborn one. They probably make a tool for this. It's like $9 million, but I can't afford it, so. I just do it the old crusty way. You guys probably all know this, but what I really look for is if there's any gouges or worn spaces. I carry a bunch of these in the trucks because you don't always need them, so I collect them. And they're almost all universal. I mean, there's a few differences between Volvo and stuff like that, but you know, if it needs it and they're worn, you know, they don't cost anything, so I just put new ones in there if they need them. If not, we'll go ahead and reuse them. But there's really no cost involved in it, so I mean, you know, not always do you replace them. They probably say you're supposed to, but these are really hard metal, and if, you know, like I said, if there's a gouge in it or a flat spot or what, then I'll go ahead and put a new one in there so the brakes roll properly. But other than that, they're going back in the same hole. So there's just a few instances where they'll get changed, but same thing with the bushings in there. I don't mess with those unless, you know, it's not a real good snug fit, and I'll throw one in there. But I guarantee you most everybody don't change out the bushings or these roller pins unless they're really bad, so I know I don't. So Joe, what are you doing, dog? What are you doing, dog? Are you protecting the area, huh? Here's pretty much your end result, what you really need. Get that race and all that cleaned up real good. Just kind of look for any kind of nicks or crannies or whatever they're called. But this one will be alright. We'll just throw the bearing in and grease it up. And away we go. I can put my fingers in there. Not no, but his on it. she is all ready to go back in the hole. So we're just gonna get her, we're gonna clean up that spindle a little bit and get her put up there. Make sure that that little pin there is not one broke off and it lines up. There's a little groove right here that you put it in. As long as it goes in there. Get my hands around it. So that's set to just about 250 torque, give or take. So that's about right. So as you can see, when we first got in there, you just reach in there with your hand and undo it. And I suspect that's probably why it failed. For whatever reason, it backed off. There's some, I'll show you what I look for on these. If I can get it in there. On these little deals right here, there's a little eyelet right there. You can see that one. And over here, we'll have to hit it again, maybe. Let me see. Yeah.
537.
You're gonna need a new lug nut too, because that one broke off.
Oh, going.
They just get old, man.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this one will work. The one you got, the holes weren't big enough. Sebastian decided to show up.
Hey.
And so I told him, I said, well, you either can do brakes or you can put a slack adjuster on. You take your pick.
Screw it, I'm grabbing the soda first.
Chicken shit. Alright, so Sebastian is learning how to put brakes on. We're going to let him dwell on it just for a little bit so he can investigate, and then we'll come in for the kill.
Thanks.
So,
Thanks.
it depends on how you do it. I have that bar that I've got is broken one side, so I haven't been able to use it, and I have yet to get another tool. So go ahead and connect these two up. Take this roller out of there. And you don't have the springs on that either, so you didn't do that right either, but that's okay, you're just learning. These little springs right here go on the end of that. So they clip in there, so they hold it in place. We'll come to that here in a bit. Go ahead and get your spring connected on your bottom deal, and I'll get you a screwdriver.
Deal. Got a lot of.
You get it clamped up? It won't fit in there or what? Oh, you're gonna have to go at an angle. Come in at an angle, just get it clamped. Whatever it takes to, there you go, just like that. Just get it where it seats on there.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah, brakes, you gotta love them. You can either love them or hate them. Did you get that pin smashed in there real good? Yeah. Is it on there? All right, just let it hang there. Take these two orange springs right there and hang them from the top on the back side. On this back side. Yep, just hang them there. Make sure they stretch all the way out.
Which way does it go?
It don't matter. They're universal. These are. They're universal. Alright, now take this screwdriver. This is what I call my brake screwdriver. It's the only one I use for it because it's short enough. Take that and bring this up, and you're going to want to put this, make it where it'll go down in there at an angle.
Here?
Yep. There you go. You got the right idea, just like that. Just push down on it. And just kind of wiggle it in there. And just make sure it taps in there. I got a little hammer behind you. When you pull out of it, just kind of tap it in there. You just give it a little taparoo. Tap, tap, taparoo.
Little hammer?
Right behind you, baby.
This
Oh, that works too. There you go. All right, do the same thing on the back side. Sebastian here is going to be an owner-operator pretty soon, so I told him, I said, well, the best way to do this is just get your hands dirty.
Quite literally.
Not a good idea to stay close to that spring because if that sucker comes out, it's going to come out quick. And they don't mess around.
Give me it back.
When you pull that out of there, just tap it in there so it's in there real good. See how it kind of stays out a little bit? There you go, good deal. All right, now these rollers over here that you have, these little clips that go on the end of them, the ones that have teeth on them are your rollers, aggressive ones. These are the pins that go in the back, but I only replace those if they're not good. Like if they have gouges on them or flat spot, then you go ahead and throw new pins in there. But those were nice and lubricated, and so I just replaced them. Or I mean, I just put the old ones back in. And then these go on your clips. You can get the idea how they go on. And then you see these little ends like this? Those will clip up into these holes right here and hold them into position. They only go on one way. Make sure this sticks out. So get you a bar now. Come in from the side. Come in from the side.
From the side?
Put it in through here. It's less, you got to open it up.
Oh, okay.
There you go. And just let the brake shoe sit down on there. Now, bring it back out. Okay, now let it sit down on there. And then, now, squeeze that up inside there like so. I usually do these before, but that's all right. You're going to have to maneuver it, you know, push it up and down and kind of, sometimes they won't go in there.
All right.
Yep, that's what you want. And you want these to sit inside that hole. Make sure these squeeze together. You don't want to bend that little clip. Just one side at a time is all you need. Beautiful. As long as they're both in there, you're set. Same thing on the bottom. And see, you being an owner-operator, you're going to need to learn how to do this. You don't want to pay somebody like me to come out and do this shit.
I'll pay for the experience.
One of these days, I'll buy me a
Shoot kit.
yeah, they make a spray bar for that, and I can't, I don't know.
We improvise.
I guess if it was mandatory, I'd need it, but
We just improvise.
same thing on the bottom. And all that does is just holds it. Turn that pin around, the whole thing. There you go, just like that. Nacho, get over here. Come here. One side at a time, it goes in easier.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah, you may have to persuade it just a little bit. There you go, just like that. As long as they both clip in there, you are set, my friend. Throw the drum on, turn it over, and maybe spray it with some what do you call it? Hell, I can't even think. My brain's cooked. Brake cleaner, that's what it is. Let me check out that drum. Yeah, we're not gonna mess with that. Just go ahead and flop it on there. It's not cracked, so we're good. Brakes will clean that up.
Bad day to wear my sandals.
Huh? Yeah, he's wearing sandals out here doing this shit. You might want to not drop that on your toe, just for the record. And make sure you bear hug it. Don't grab it from the front.
I bear hug it.
Yeah. You'd be taking off a finger. Get it, big dog. There you go. Good thing you're in the military.
Lined it right up.
Shove it in there all the way. As far as it'll go. All right, we'll worry about adjusting the brakes here in just a bit. But for now, I already got him caged because he wasn't up this morning. We'll go ahead and throw the tires on. See, this will be a good way to determine whether or not he wants to be an owner-operator for real, because this type of shit will happen on a daily basis for him. And use your shoulder and muscle that tire up. Don't let it spin. There you go. Beautiful. Now you gotta line up the holes. Shove it right on up in there. Make sure it gets up on that hub all the way. Use that bar and you got more leverage. Just right there on the bottom and shove it in there. There you go. Beautiful. Now you're ready for the tire. On these, you got to make sure that the valve stems are opposite. And don't cover it up with like don't put the rim here in a hole here, you know what I'm saying? So when you get it up there, spin it around, that way the valve stems can be accessed either way. Don't get in the habit of picking shit up like that, you tear up your back. That's what that bar's for. It'll make you an old man quick.
Food's here.
I can finish it up, baby. Let my air charge up a little bit more. guys probably wonder why I use that battery-powered deal to put the things on before the impact. It's because I only have 60 gallons of air, so I try to preserve as much air as I can. I like to use a 1-inch for that, but it takes a lot of air, so I have it really set really high, and it just drains the air out real quick. So I just do it that way, and I can usually get a whole tire before it needs air. So. So on this truck here, it probably won't happen today, but we got to replace this slack adjuster here because it's kind of ooey-dooey. And then he wants to replace the oil cooler down there. We're going to do an oil change and all that shit. Probably do it all at the same time, but we're going to have to get the hoses. I probably won't worry about it today. I'll probably come back, I don't know, Monday or so and get the hoses for that. You can only get them from Freightliner, which sucks because they're, you know, stupid expensive, but whatever. But that'll be another day, and we'll put a slack adjuster on it and do a brake adjustment, and then have it inspected, and then see what else they come up with as far as, you know, what else they want. It's an old truck, but it's a, you know, it's a good truck. It's just old for what these guys do. They run intermodal here, and you know, hell, if you can get a truck like this, that, you know, these Detroits are simple to rebuild. There ain't nothing to them, you know. So it's, you know, if you get a good truck like this and, you know, put it all together and keep up on it, why, hell, it's a good old truck. I mean, nothing wrong with it all. But anyway, so Monday, probably Monday midday or so, after the 4th, we'll come here and get him all greased up and do his brake adjustment. And you know, I don't know if I'll be able to film all that because it'll happen kind of quick, and I got a whole bunch of other stuff. Hell, I've already got up to Thursday lined out, so it's going to be a pretty busy week. So I'll try to get what I can so you guys can, you know, maybe not really to see how things are done. I probably wouldn't be good for that, but at least, you know, something to do. Anyway, let me drop this tire down, and we're going to clean up our mess and call it a day. At least for this week, and then Monday or Tuesday or probably Sunday night, I'll come back and we'll finish up on the rest of this. Something I forgot to mention to you guys too is that on these nuts here, the old ones, just in case you're getting ready to do a bearing or what, these old ones take this. I don't know what size this one is. 4-inch, yeah. So this is the 4-inch one, but the nuts that I put on there, it takes a different tool. I got a whole bunch of them in here just for all the steer tires and whatnot, but on this one here, you have to get a different size. It's a 4 3/8, but it's got there's more, I think the numbers are right as far as how much how many turns there are, but if you notice that they're kind of different as far as the, you know, deal. So just keep that in mind. The old style with the 2 clips are 4-inch, and these are 4 3/8, but they have more points on them. So that's what I was trying to say. But just make sure you got one of those handy if you do that. I don't have the whole complete set, but I've got the most commons that are used. So anyway, I'm gonna drop this tire down and call it a day, and we'll come back and deal with this after we do some camping and maybe drink some beer. So y'all be good, and we'll see you maybe Sunday night or Monday. So have a good one, guys. Be careful on the 4th.